And Nigeria is still there, no victor, no vanquish. And I've observed several, and I see the beautiful Nigeria that some of us knew that we took part, represent Nigeria in academic soccer. Let's sacrifice. That Nigeria is no longer there. It's no longer there. And yet we see flag, ethnic flag, religious flag, and we said, we want to build a nation. Unfortunately for Nigeria, Nigeria has not been fortunate like Singaporeans, who had someone to unite the country, who had a common vision. What is due to A should be given to A. What is given to B should be given to B. What is given to C should be given to that. We could not have leaders that can unite the country. Everybody, from my own vocabulary, ethnic leaders we have. And now the so-called enlightened Nigerians, all of us so educated, so enlightened, so groomed, instead of us identify that there's a clique of people in Nigeria that have used this classification to make every one of us poor. And now Nigeria is on the verge of collapsing. I've been looking left and right. There must be a change. A real change. And suddenly, this man, Peter Obi, appeared on the scene. The first time, Roland, you cannot sit back behind the scenes. If there's a voice here in the UK that want to push this agenda forward, you need to remember what Nigeria did to you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is why I'm here. And I believe that's the more reason why you're all here. Because we're all fed up of Nigeria, of yesterday. The same people of yesterday want to come back again in 2023. How bad? How many years more like us have to live? What is the legacy are we leaving for the young generation of Nigerians? What is the legacy? What legacy that all these elders, all these people that have been there all along, what have they left for you? They've now left for you a country, there's a bloodbath left and right. No employment for thousands, millions of youth. And we say we want to give them another opportunity. I don't know about you, but for me, standing here, myself, my family, we've taken a view. Nigeria has to change, and that change, I believe, is going through this man. For me, Nigeria, Jonathan, George, that's my initial introduction.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I also have another distinguished gentleman among our midst. Again, all protocol observed, so that I don't introduce anybody in error. I've been instructed to go as simple as possible because of the man that we are representing today, who personifies simplicity. So the people that are here have big titles, most of it, but they said no, put that aside, by the way, introduce me. And the next person I'm going to introduce is Mr. Anthony Daniels. Please.
My name is Anthony Daniels. I'm a professional and educational recruitment consultant here in the UK. I've been invited by my dear friends. There is a vision that they had. And I saw with them, and I came to identify with them. And I've heard a lot of the reason why we're here. I'm particularly angered by the way the country is doing money and women. Like some of them have said here, I'm not a politician, never been in politics. I've been invited several times to join one or two parties. This is the first time I'm just sort of adhering to somebody's invitation concerning a political party.
And the reason is very simple. If you have a vision that you cannot execute, or you're not able to execute, because you're not having the means of doing that, or the capability of doing that, and you now have somebody that has that same vision and knows where he's going, you have to follow. In Nigerian terms, there's one follow who no road. Yeah, you have to follow the person that knows the road. We have our own little ways of contributing to help him get to where he wants to be and be able to lead and give us his own vision and we support the vision. So why we're here today, in the first place, is to find a way of bringing him up to the level of where he can be seen and understood by the people of our country, Nigeria. So we are here to promote him. We are here to support him. And we are here to make sure that he wins. Because when he wins, we win as well. I'm very much angered by the way the educational system in Nigeria is being managed. Because I'm there now. As we are here, I know a lot of people, I know thousands of people that will bring in from other countries to come and study here. And they pay, the cheapest rate is £13,000 a year. I've never seen or heard or received any message from anybody that I want to go to Nigeria and study. And we have cheap education there. Very, very cheap if you compare with the price we're paying here. So I listened to Peter Obi several times, and he had this agenda that matches what I've been thinking in my mind. Health, education. He has vision for the people. His major interest is for the people, and the people, and for us as a country. So I don't see any reason why I will sit back and be watching things going the way it's going when I can contribute my own quota. So we are here, and I'm here to do the little bit I can do to get this thing to proceed. And I'm very, very sure if we do our quota individually, collectively, we'll get there. What we need as a country actually is leadership. People that understand leadership, tenets of leadership, the economics of economics. Because there's economics, and there's people that know the real mathematics of economics. And I learned today that our leader to be is an economist. The person that is going with it, the vice, is an economist. Imagine what they will be discussing, even in a bar. When they are relaxing, they will be talking about the economics of Nigeria. So we are here to support in our own little way. I'm sure people left what they're supposed to do today to come and know what we can do to support in any little way. It could be phone calls. Like yesterday, I was ringing everybody in Nigeria. Have you registered? They said, some people went there and they said it's a long queue. I said, because you waited for too long. Because our line didn't end very soon. Tomorrow. So I was on the net again this morning. You must go there and queue 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. wherever time you must register. Because there's no point. You are complaining. The country is not good. There's expensive things. Everything is expensive in Nigeria. And you're seated. You're not doing anything. Next year you do the same thing. So if you want change, do something. I want change. And I'm here to do what I can. And if I don't know, my friends can tell me, this is what you can do, or this is what we want to do. So we are here collectively to listen to each other and make decisions. Our decision is not about this country, it's about Nigeria. And we're here in the UK talking about Nigeria. Why is that? Interest. We want to change. Now, it's not a change of promise. We're talking about real change. And it has to come from this man.
Absolutely.
Peter Obi.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted us to look at the agenda for today. I jumped the agenda because I want you to associate a name to a face, which was the simple reason why I did the introduction first. So we know there are other people seated in this room that have just decided to remain anonymous for the time being, just to be an observer. I respect that. And there is a lot you guys are yet to see, that you will see. I am happy with the caliber of people that we have to move this journey. Because I know when we start moving the journey, we are not going to fall because of the caliber of people that are going to be in there. It's not just being an online social media support. We want to take this to Nigeria. We want our impact to be felt. Before we had today's meeting, we reached out to Peter Obi and said, we want to do this for you. We don't want any money from you. He was amazed. He was all appreciated. And that is what we're doing here. We're trying to support, garnish support financially, morally, anything that we can do. So that if he has to fly to go and meet a state governor or a president tomorrow, he can do it. And we are in an advantageous position to be able to do that. Because we are in a country where pound is nothing compared. So if we are able to raise £10 or £20, it's something. So today's agenda will be an opening prayer, which I will have the privilege of calling on the Right Honorable Reverend Chief Judge to please take us in an opening prayer, please. Please, if I may just ask me all right for an opening prayer, please.
Let us pray. We know that what we're doing, or what is happening now, requires also prayer. So we're going to start with God, because the Bible says, when the Lord is with you, who can be against you? Amen? Amen. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, our God, our Maker, we thank you, we bless your holy name. We exalt you and we magnify your name because you are God. There is no other God like you, and there will be none. From everlasting to everlasting, you are God. We thank you for your love, for your grace, your mercy, your kindness, and we thank you for bringing us together. And we thank you for what you are about to do in this our journey that we are starting today, and we commit everything, O Heavenly Father, into your holy hand. And we say, Lord, take absolute control. Everything we are going to do, everything we are going to say, and where we are going. You are the Lord who knows the ending from the beginning. You already know. But we pray, may you order our steps and take absolute control of this journey in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
We thank you. We bless your holy name. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. We have done the introduction of the principal stakeholder here today. There are a lot of people that want to be also part of these inner circles, but they just want to see how we move first. So at this point in time, from my right to the left, I'm going to respectfully ask our guests tonight to please introduce yourself so that we at least get to know the people that we have in the room. Please, starting from my friend here.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Callisto Sokoli. I won't actually have to waste our time. One thing I just want to say to us is that, like I said before, just came back from Nigeria on Friday morning, and when I got this message, I said, I have to be here. And the first thing I did as soon as I got to Nigeria was to go get my PVC. So it's a good thing, and everybody has the desire for a change. My background is logistics and transport, both here and in Nigeria. I am willing and happy to be here, and let's make the change together. Thank you.
Thank you. Our dear friend, please.
My name is Chuka Ebeti. My background is law and legal profession. I'm also a business consultant. What brought me here is desire to see Nigeria one day. I don't know if any one of you here is in Nigerian diaspora. Nigerian diaspora group, the leader, WhatsApp, I don't know if any one of you is here. Any one of you here is not here because nobody. Right. So basically, what is this? In that Nigerian diaspora organization, I call it talking machine because we talk about everything Nigeria. We lament Nigeria, we talk Nigeria left, right, and center. You know what it's like in Nigeria. You wake up 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody's typing something about Nigeria. You wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody's typing something about Nigeria. Wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, the same thing. And it's all talking. What kind of Nigeria? And from year to year. So personally, I'm apolitical. I don't involve in politics, but I have a burning desire to see Nigeria move. I've lived in this country for many years. I studied here. I didn't get an opportunity to study at the university in Nigeria, but I came here and I had an opportunity and I attended. And practicing law here for years. But I have a burning desire to see my country move and grow because I want to be able to take my children back to Nigeria to be useful in Nigeria. And I've never had the opportunity, clear opportunity, to get involved in politics, at least to say something or do something that would help to make that mission come true. If you look at the political scene, I don't see any of the political parties I can actually join to say anything or do anything. Until Peter Obi emerged. When Peter Obi came to this country, during the time he was campaigning to become governor, he came back, he led to the I didn't meet him, but I saw his manifesto. One of my friends who was attending the meeting gave me the manifesto. I said to him, I don't get involved in politics, and I'm not in Nigeria, but if I'm in Nigeria, I'm doing politics based on this manifesto, because what it does, that manifesto stuff encapsulated every problem that the state, Anambra State, had and need to be solved. He put it together as it is. And I was impressed by that. When he got it, he did quite a lot of that. I was impressed. And now that he came up here with courage to try to take on Nigeria and do something, I was moved. And when Chief called me and said he wanted me to join this, I was impressed, but I was happy to join because it is my desire to do something that will make that country move and be like what it's supposed to be. That's why I joined. That's why I'm here. And I'm more than happy to help in any way I can possibly help to see this vision go through. Thank you.
Thank you. There is a lady I've known for so many years. She's not a Nigerian, but she has a burning desire to see Nigerians succeed. More than Nigerians themselves. And that lady has become part of the family. When we were trying to form this movement, we reached out to her. She immediately offered to support. And there is no other person than the young lady and beautiful lady over there for her. Juliet, if you may just come up and introduce yourself, please.
Thank you so much. I'm just absolutely delighted to be amongst the Nigerian community. And before anyone starts here today, why am I here? It's because I love Nigeria. I know you're the people who can bring us up in Africa if we can get better leadership. So I'm absolutely wowed. Thank you so much to Reverend for inviting me here, and of course your presence here and your family. I am part of the family. I'm the UK Nigerian Diaspora Forum founder, for those who don't know. And I remember the challenges that I faced when I was starting in early I believe around 2008, 9. There we started with what we call UK Nigerian Diaspora Forum. The very first question I was asked by people of Nigeria, why are you asking to do something for the people of Nigeria? And I remember my answer was, and why not? We are Africans. And so I'm here today because I am very passionate about issues of governance. I'm also very passionate about better leadership across not just Nigeria, but across the whole of Africa. When I heard that Peter Obi was standing, of course, I'm passionate for new leadership, for new transformation, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. For those who don't know, I have recently stood as Madam President of Kenya, and so I bring a new kind of dynamics. I'm sick and tired of old leadership in Africa. I'm tired of hearing that we have the same kind of political and not able to bring ordinary kind of citizen to bring the transformation that we deserve, Jonathan. So I'm here to support your presence. I'm here to support the presence of good governorship, not just in Africa, in Nigeria, but across the whole of Africa. We have seen that for many years, in Kenya, for instance, it's 59 years of non-delivery of services. So what can we say about Nigeria? In Kenya, it's going to be 60 years this 12th of December that we've had the same old leadership as I talk to you today. So I put the test and the challenge of our government, and being a diasporian Kenyan in the presence of Chief George and others, I got a lot of good support and encouragement from your community, and your community deserves the best. So I'm here to support great change. I'm here to say that because you've invited well-wishers and you've invited people of other ethnicity, because it's not just Nigeria, it's Africa as a whole, better governance and better leadership. We are tired of leaders who are not serving us. That is why I'm here. I want to thank your presence here today, and of course the families, because his competence and what he represents, representing of issues that are able to make a change, a desire that we all have. If Peter Obi gets elected, it creates a dynamic situation, and that is why I put my present. The challenge is real, I must tell you. That is why I'm in this room with you here today. I can tell you that the situation across Africa, people want to feel that they've brought you. You know, like, oh, someone else has brought you. I was telling Chief Roland earlier on that someone has brought me. I'm treated as if I'm not Kenyan. So we need to change that, Jonathan. And that's why I'm in this room here today, to serve the purpose that we call upon. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
There was something Julia forgot to include, or she deliberately avoided, and that is what she's been doing has taken us several times to number 10 Downing Street and House of Parliament as well. She's highly recognized in the government of Saudi and the United Kingdom. So I just thought I'd throw that in there just in case you decide to hide it.
Oh, yes, I'll just...
My dear sister,
thank you.
Juliet, please,
Thank
you introduce yourself.
I just want to use my inhaler. So
Okay, so, all right. Sister Rose, please.
No,
I'm Sister Ali.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is
Mrs. Annie Dover. I'm an estate surveyor. Reverend invited me here. Though I've seen the publication for a long time, like almost 2 months now, they've been posting it that we should be here for a meeting to see how we can move our brother forward to be the president. And I've been telling so many of my friends as well. But as I came here, I was a little bit disappointed with the turnout. But that notwithstanding, I think we can work more on that after today to see how people can turn up. Because when everybody comes here, everybody brings their own idea, then things will be much better. I'm not a politician, I've never been one, but
sorry about that, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm bringing you here today. The labor for a better Nigeria begins. Mr. Peter Obi for president. So I just thought, let me bring you here. If you're here today, please help us to share this. And of course, today is all about Peter Obi right here, right down in this beautiful hotel down in Kensington. Sorry, not Kensington. Hilton Hotel. It is Hilton Hotel. I'm going to show you where we are here today. And Ososhi, it's lovely to see you. Thank you so much. I thought, let me bring you here today so that you can see where we are right now. It's the UK, Nigeria. It's the UK, Nigeria diaspora chapter. Of course, here, right, and we've launched the UK, Nigeria diaspora chapter. It's the UK. Sorry about that. We're here. Yes, I was right. It's Hilton. Kensington, definitely. That's where we are right now. Yes, thank you so much. I needed to show you where we are. So we have launched the UK, Nigeria, UK, Nigeria and Ireland chapter. That's where we are. Let me just quickly take a good photo over there so I can keep it for my memory as well. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for that. I'm absolutely delighted for your patience, everyone. Let's just take a photo of there. So I'm absolutely excited. Thanks a lot for your patience, everyone. I just needed to show you where we are. So yes, we're here, UK, Nigeria, and Ireland, Europe chapter, launching us here today for the Peter Obi's, it's Peter Obi's launch. So the group of Nigerians has come together, and I always talk about quality, and quality is what is really, really important. And so I brought that to your agenda because I felt that that was absolutely important to really, really talk about all that. What is really, really most important is talking about why the labor for a better Nigeria is important. And so we're talking about the man himself here today. The labor for a better Nigeria begins. Mr. Obi for president, and that is what we're here for Make your vote count. Taking Nigeria for consumption, for production. Your PVC is your mandate. Voice and right. Nigerians hopeful for a national rebirth. Together we remain obedient. Thank you so much, Dr. Karen, for joining us here today.
I don't know anything about him. I mean, obviously, I've been watching and listening to what people are saying. But I believe that he's different for no reason apart from the fact that he's quite humble. And people say he can bring about that change. And I'm here today because I want to see that change and I want to be part of the change that happens in Nigeria.
Change will come.
Amen.
Change will come.
Amen.
You see, when Barack Obama started, the power that be said that thing. Have nerve to want to run for the office of president, isn't it?
Yeah.
He even got to the point where Bill Clinton himself, because Obama was competing against his wife, he goes, this is just a charade. It's not going to happen. When the hand of God is on something, he moved unbelievably. What happened?
That's right.
He defeated Hillary Clinton.
That's right.
Then they begin to say, whoa, this man is going somewhere because he's not a Democratic candidate. And then what did they do next? They brought religion to try and discredit him. Now he's a Muslim. But what happened? The man braced that up as well. On the day, look at the tunnel. People were saying, other people, the black Americans, rich people, were buying food, cooking food, drink, going to give the people in the queue, stay and vote. What happened? Obama came. And that would be the same thing that is happening in Nigeria. Then needless I say more.
Yeah.
My brother, please, if you may introduce yourself, please.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Emmanuel Ogele. I've lived in this country for, I think, maybe the least number of years to most of you here, less than 10 years. I was raised in Nigeria, grew up in Nigeria, went to school in Nigeria. I worked in Nigeria. I'm a health and safety consultant, fire health and safety consultant and engineer. I started my career with Shell BP back home in Nigeria. And a few years ago, 6-7 years ago, I was actually forced by situations and circumstances, especially the security state of the nation, to leave Nigeria and come and live here. And I'm one of very few people that never believed that I would ever leave Nigeria, come and live in any foreign land, because I believe home is home. When I got married, my wife used to live here. Before we got married, I told her that when we get married, you're going to come back home and continue your profession. Whatever it is, we'll get a job for you, and then you come back home and stay. But fortunately, with time, basically she won the argument because things never improved. So it was going from bad to worse. Each time she comes home to see me, it's either we'll have a near miss of an accident, we'll have a trailer that wants to run into us, we have a whole lot of issues. And then at every point you keep asking yourself, where are we actually going to? Back home, and that's a story I always tell people, I worked in a civil environment. And where I worked in Shell, Port Harcourt, and then go to different areas to carry out supervision and projects, we have light inside Shell. We have discipline and order inside the organization. People follow traffic rules. You don't use your phone. Zebra crossings are obeyed. We immediately you leave that environment and get out of the gate, the same people, different behavior. The same people, different behavior. You go to where we've got our production plants and facilities. We have lights, we have everything, food, water. Then you look at the communities, they've got nothing. Light, water, food, poverty written everywhere. Their land devastated by the same people, Nigerians. So when we ask ourselves, what do we actually want as Nigerians? And when people talk about leadership, and I say, leadership is the people. It's not the few people in government. When the people want a change will come. That's right. And I think we've gotten to that point where maybe right now the people do not have a choice than to seek for a real change. Change devoid of religion, change devoid of ethnicity. Because at this point, there is nobody called a Nigerian. Nobody believes in a country called Nigeria. Nobody wants to live and die in Nigeria. No matter what happens in this country that we live in, England, when it comes to their sovereignty, they will defend it with their blood because this is the only place they call home. But what has happened to us? The best brains have left the country. Most of us are out of the country. Some of us have not gone home for 30 years, 30 years, 20 years. Some of our children do not even know where they come from. They have no identity. One of my friends I was speaking to, I was in his house and we were talking and the son said, somebody asked him where he comes from. He said he comes from North London. I said, wow. Is that where you come from? He said, yes. I looked at the father and said, is that where you guys come from? He looked at me and said, when was the last time this boy went home? He said, 13 years. He's never gone home. So the only place he knows as home is North London. And for him, he is from North London. I believe that maybe the generation before us actually failed. Because my late dad went to school here. By the time they finished school, they had no reason to stay here. Absolutely no reason. They went back home, had a good job, started their lives, did the best they could. But I think what they lacked was, they lacked that commitment to actually say, this is my country, I want to live and die for it. They left the country in the hands of few that were able to destroy it, from the military rule to the political class that have no idea about what leadership and commitment is. I work in a country here, and I work in construction, so we do high-rise buildings, construction of roads. It's a tier 1 construction company. I see how fast we turn out buildings. I see how fast projects are finished with timelines, set targets at the stop. And sometimes I compare what we are doing at home and what's happening here. And for me, the only difference is there is accountability, there is commitment, and definitely there are consequences to actions.
Yeah.
So these are the things we lack. And yes, Peter Obi is the face of the change that we want to see happen. If the people, that includes people here, people that live in diaspora, and people back home. But for us that live here, we have a better opportunity to say we've seen where things work, and we should have that burning desire to transform that experience that we've had here back home. And that is the challenge. Every day I post to people that live here. Say it's not about enjoying the dividends or whatever you think you're enjoying here. about finding a way and a route to still transfer that to what we can do back home. And I think that is what we are about to do here. I think it's a beginning of a journey, and I think the journey is going to be, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of commitment. It's going to take a lot of struggle. And if we are ready as a people to make that change that we desire, we need to change it. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and
Good
gentlemen.
evening, my brother.
My name is Amechi. A friend of mine actually sent me the invite on WhatsApp this morning, and I said I must be here. I remember coming to something similar to this 4 years ago when Kingsley Mogadiru came to London, and he was trying to gather some support. Just like him, the reason why I'm here is because of my children, really. So recently my son finished GCSE. He's got a job now, a part-time job he's doing. And it dawned on me that this young man is about to leave home in the next few years. And it also dawned on me, I began to ask myself, if he goes out to the world and he's asked where I'm from, is he going to say I'm from England? Not London? Where is he going to, obviously as I did my best, I'm doing my best at home to raise him to know who he is, where he comes from, and his identity, to help him navigate through life. But it also hurts me that I'm not proud to take him back home, to go on the side. I remember my youngest son, who is 7 years old. I keep telling him, you're an Igbo man, you're an Igbo man. And then one day he came to me and said, Daddy, if I'm an Igbo man, what are we doing here? That's what he told me. And I couldn't answer the question, what are we doing here? The reason why I'm here as well is because Peter Obi is somebody that I think might give us the opportunity to ask the very, very important question we never asked ourselves as Nigerians is, do we... It's like two people coming together whose parents have arranged a marriage for them. They were not there to agree on that marriage. And that's how I see Nigeria is. In 1914, none of our ancestors or parents or leaders were there when we brought everybody together. And ever since then, no Nigerian have actually asked themselves the question, do we really need to be together? In my own opinion, Nigeria itself is an artificial construct. There's nothing organic about it. There's nothing natural about our union. And the price we've been paying for generations to generations is because we've never really asked ourselves that question. Are we organically, naturally made to be together? Did God put us together? Or did somebody else put us together for their own benefits? And that's the reason why we are suffering the way we're suffering, in my own opinion. And so, the reason why I'm behind Peter Obi is that I feel that possibly he could give us a platform to ask ourselves that question, if it's through a referendum or something. Because it's very, very important to know that if you don't share values, the same values with your partner, there's no way that marriage will work. No matter how much prayer you do, no matter how much hope you hope, it will not work because both of you have different values, different vision. So at the end of the day, we will also ask ourselves, at the end of Peter Obi's 8 years, what happens after? Because in my opinion, the very foundation of Nigeria is already broken. Our beloved brother Peter Obi could come and do a bit of painting here and there, fixing here and there, but the foundation still needs to be fixed. And that is where the question should be asked is, are we designed naturally to be together? If we're not, then we should do the right thing. If we feel that we should be together, no problem, but Peter Obi, in my opinion, will give us that platform to ask that question. That's why I'm here, to hope that he gets in there and allows us to ask ourselves that same questions. And hopefully create a better country. I don't know if it's going to home where I could take my children to. I want to go. I'm tired. I was born here. I was raised in Nigeria. But I came here, did my studies and everything. But I realized that my greatest contribution to life, to humanity, is not here. I have so much I could do back home. There's so much people who need my skill, my contribution. And that is where I need to be, and that's where my children is to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Our dear sister is somebody of substance, but again, on instruction, I've been told to keep my low profile. So now I'm going to give her the opportunity to introduce herself.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's lovely to see all of you and meet all of you, share our ideas.
So it's absolutely interesting to just hear that. I just want to remind everybody the labor for a better Nigeria begins here, and we are the UK, Nigeria, and Ireland, and of course Europe chapter. So if you want to support us, please don't forget to come down. We are creating the lovely support for the labor for a better Nigeria. So if you'd like to support and champion, we invite you to the UK, Nigeria and Ireland chapter here today. So if you haven't heard, please spread the news here today. And if you'd like to give me a call as well, the number to call is, and I will repeat, the number to call as well is +4477 423 84052. That is the number to call. I will also assist you to direct you to the organizers of this event. Thank you so much for everyone who is watching us here today. Thank you. How are you?
Fine, yeah.
Yes, and you?
Nigeria.
Are you from Nigeria?
No, I know Nigeria.
Oh, do you?
I know a few.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Lagos and Port Harcourt.
Okay, have you been there before?
No, but I know a few places there. I've
Yeah.
never been there, actually, no.
Okay.
I've been to Zimbabwe.
Oh, right. Okay,
Malawi
thank you.
and
Mala,
Botswana.
come and join us. Come and listen. If you feel free to
Is
join
everybody
us.
there Nigerian?
No, I'm not from Nigeria. Come.
Where are you from?
Kenya.
Kenya.
Come.
Oh, that's
You're,
nice.
you're free. What's
Yeah,
your
might
name?
come. Joe.
Joe, I'm Juliet. Just come
Juliet.
in. Juliet, just
Okay.
pop in.
Kenya.
Yeah.
Kenya.
Kenya,
Is that,
Nairobi.
is that African or
Kenya.
Indian?
Kenya. It's in Africa.
That is African.
Yes, yes.
Because some Kenyans are half Indian.
Yes, yes. Kenya,
Yeah,
Asian,
they
yes.
can be from different.
Yes.
Right.
Pop in.
Is that a wig you've got on?
No, 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 no.
Is
no.
that real?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
It's amazing how much
Yeah,
hair
yeah.
you've got.
Thank you. Right, pop in. Feel free. Thank
Where is
you.
it? Which one? Is that one?
In that one, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm not in the room because the lady wanted to have her privacy, so I obviously had to leave the room a little bit because she wanted to speak just privately. So you've got to be here to listen to everything and helping out to literally help everybody to just understand what is happening here today. Please always make your way here. So I'm just going to go back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, we are in Chelsea suit. For those who want to know which room we were in. For memories, we were in Chelsea suit, and that is the room that we're in. We were given here today. Don't start. For those people who start telling me that they're Chelsea football fans. Hi, Karen, Dr. Karen. I just left the room because the lady needed her privacy. She didn't want me to record some of the things she wanted to say. So sometimes I just felt the need to respect that. So allow me to just show you around. So we're here, beautiful place, right down in Hilton Hotel. Beautiful place. So I love it and I can recommend it here for everyone. They've got car parking as well. So if you're looking for a place, I think this is a really nice place to bring your meetings as well. Beautiful, lots of rooms as well, boardrooms and everywhere. So yeah, today we're here, UK, Nigerian Island, Europe chapter, launching its chapter here in London to support Peter Obi. You will see a few groups, but this is what it is. This is the group that I am in, and absolutely wonderful to see what they've got in store for Peter Obi.
And I see that possibility. I don't know Peter Obi personally, but I've listened to him. I share his vision. I share his values. And I know he can start that change. He's not going to accomplish it in his 8 years. My brother asked, we need to ask that question. Do we really need to live together? My brother, I think it's too late. We can live together. That's right. To be asking that question. Because I've lived, when I finished university, I served in the north. I lived in Kaduna. I have some, and I worked in Abuja. I lived in Abuja. The truth is, no, amongst the common people, when we are together, there is no difference. Because poverty is poverty. And wealth is wealth. It's all these politicians that is causing these divisions. I lived in Kaduna. I wasn't conscious that I was not a Muslim or this. So when I hear some stories about Kaduna, I say, is that the place I lived? My first daughter, I had her in Kaduna. I got married in Kaduna whilst living in Kaduna. And in my place of work, I worked with Hausa people. I used to work with the US government, 11 years before I came over here. And when we are there, we are not talking about who is Kanuri, who is Joe, who is Yoruba. We are, and I tell you, when the politicians, they are sharing money, they don't know whether it's Igbo or Ijo or this thing. It's when they want, they cause this division. So my brother, it's possible. We can live together. With the right leadership, with the right mindset. It will come. What is causing all these divisions? Greed. And it's human nature. It's human nature. It's not religion. I'm a practicing Christian. I believe in Jesus. Right? And the Muslims, all those scriptures, those books, they are not to govern us, but to give us a pathway, to lead us. The values they say is to help us to navigate life. A true Muslim will not go and kill. A true Christian will not go and... We see the politics even inside the church. There was another statement somebody said, some of us said, I'm not a politician. My dear, we are all politicians. Politics start from the kitchen, from the family. There's politics. Life is politics. By the way, I read political science. Life is politics. So it's how you many of us are in management positions. So all I will tell this group, we are all tired of complaining, right? What are we bringing to the table? And I believe all of us have something to offer. That's the question we should ask ourselves. Somebody is not if Peter Obi cannot bring about that change by himself. And that is why we are here. How can we support him? How can we support him? How can we help him? And I believe each and every one of us here has something to contribute. So let's ask ourselves. It may not always be finance, ideas, because ideas, creativity. You know, that is, we will bring something to the table, and it will cost us. It will cost us. Are we all here ready to pay that price? Ask yourself, when we leave here today, am I ready to carry this cross with Peter Obi? How can I support him? What can I do? And let's come back, when we are having the next meeting, let's all come back with something. Thank you.
Thank you. The last but not the least, certainly to me anyway, is my dear wife, Mariam. She's not in Nigerian, she's Sierra Leonean. That she's passionate about Nigeria. You may just introduce yourself, please.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm at your back. I'll just stand in the middle.
I just wanted to say, don't speak from our backs.
You know, good evening, everybody. I think we're all Africans, irrespective of me being a Sierra Leonean. I have so many Nigerian friends. I go to Nigeria. I love Nigeria. My mother was born in Nigeria. My grandmother and my grandfather worked in Nigeria, in Calabar. And my grandmother, being a Sierra Leonean, was the head of the Nigerian Friendly Society. That's how much we were intertwined. It's just that my lineage didn't come from Nigeria. So I say to people, I am an African. I am Nigerian, I'm married to one, and I enjoy the Nigerian culture too. So for me, not only am I supporting my husband's vision, I'm also supporting what I see in Peter Obi. I think, you know, when he came along, I was like, wow, that's the man, it's got to be the man. Because I usually say to him, you guys don't even have a president, Nigeria, we don't have a president. If all we can produce is what we're seeing, come on now. And I know Nigerians are passionate. The NSAS movement, if not for anything, can tell you that the Nigerians, we have got it in us to make that change without fear or favor. And I want to believe, as you know, NSAS ended the way it ended, there's still some more life and passion in people to come out and express their ideas and their feelings in a way of supporting Peter Obi. I am on the internet all the time, looking at forums, just seeing what other people are doing. The fire is there. The man's there. I won't say he's come without any blemish, but boy, there's nothing compared to him at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I think when you put them all on your platform, it's a no-brainer. But then we have to support to make it happen back in Nigeria. Because, you know, like we said, if it's for international award and we all come into the table and do what we need to do, it's a no-brainer. We all go home. But, you know, we have to. Somebody spoke about telling people to go and get your PVC. It's a physical work. Do it. Mm-hmm. On that day, stand in there. It took leg work and all those things for Barack Obama to be elected. It is the same phenomenon. It is the same idea. And I just hope, with all the ideas we have in the room and with people to join in, you know, that it's not about the beginning. A thousand miles begins with a step. And it's not about the beginning, it's about the finishing. And we have to endure. If we have it, if we see what Nigerians did during NSAS, it was a do or die. People were like, do or die, you know, and unfortunately some people did lose their life, but we don't want it to go in vain. There must be an end result. And I think Peter Obi, hopefully, should bring us close to that result. So in the same view with everybody, in the same spirit, we're not going to relent. We will try, we will come, we will do it, still do it, until we get to where we need to go. Come 2023, when we gather again, everyone will be passionate about, we have taken that step, we have supported that step. We don't do it for personal favors, we don't do it for things in return, we do it for our children's future. And somebody's got to do it. Our parents paved the way for us to be where we are. We've got to pave the way for our kids in the future. So, you know, we welcome everybody on board, and we join forces together, and I know together with what we have in the room and those to come and join us, the sky's the limit. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Everybody has spoken very well. And the one thing I find very refreshing is the quality of people that we have here. The quality of people that we have here, compared to the quality of people we have in the corridor of government, there's no rival. The experience that we've had here in this country, compared to the education that we have and the quality of people that we have, will make a change. I'll tell you the journey how we got here. My friend called me and says, have you heard? I said, what, Peter Obi? Oh, yes. Every visitation of Peter Obi here, when he was a governor, after I became a governor, when he left that position as a governor, and he was campaigning as a presidential candidate and vice president then, we attended some of his meetings in London here. The chief invited me. I listened to the man. I interacted with him. And there was something he said that day that resonated. He goes, everybody are blaming politicians as being thieves. He said, let me tell you, if I put $1 million in this room and I'll zip the bag, there's no CCTV, nobody in the room, you're walking into the place, you look around, nobody is there, you look at the $1 million, you look again, no CCTV, you look at the money, you go outside and pee, and look again, no security guard, you go, you grab the thing and walk away. Because that's exactly what the politicians has, access to this money uninterrupted. And for that, it resonates with me. That's the reason why the politicians steal, because there's no check and balance. So before we got here, when Chief called me and said, look, if I'm going to put my name in this at all, let's do it proper. If we don't do it proper, we'll break. So the first thing we did, we consulted with, I'm struggling to call him Roland, and my friend here, Anthony. We had a dialogue, and I said, before we do anything, let's let Peter know. If we cannot reach Peter Obi, let's not do it. I said, okay. We all task ourselves first to get to Peter Obi, feedback to us. So we spread our wing. Somewhere along the line, we got a phone call that they've made a contact with Peter Obi for us. That is the first step. And that is why my dear sister over there says, if the foundation is solid, we'll build on it. So this meeting we're having here today is not by design. Peter Obi is aware of it. He knows he has actually invited us to come and see him in Nigeria, or wait for his arrival. But you don't wait for king to come and visit you, go and visit the king. So after that initial conversation with him, this is what is coming out from it. So when we start growing, after today's meeting, we are going to follow up that conversation we had with him with a visit. Everything that is happening here today is financed by 4 individuals out of their pocket. And that is the pledge we made to Peter. We will come and support you. Don't give us shishi. He was amazed. You mean you support my campaign, you don't ask me for money? I said, don't worry. We will make our contribution. That is what we need to. If there is a sacrifice we have to make to get to government, you get to government and give us good governance, then we do that. So please be rest assured, my sister, on our next meeting, you see how busy the house will be. Because we've not gone public. We're only on WhatsApp group that we created. We created a Facebook page that is not very, very active at the moment. Because if we don't get endorsed, what is the point telling people we are supporting Peter Obi? We may as well just join social media and be just listening to people telling us story, come 2023, nothing happens, right? So we have to get the foundation right, and I believe we are there. We've got the foundation right. So, ladies and gentlemen, be rest assured. Now we are going to give you some in-depth view of the man, how we perceived him, and the journey from this place from here on. All right? And that is going to mean that there is going to be a slide presentation. So today's speakers are going to be Mr. Roland, Mr. Anthony, Mr. George, and myself. It would have been more than the four of us. It was the four of us that initially came together. So today we had the opportunity of meeting some more. And in that next meeting, the rest assured is going to be times 2 or times 3. 4 times 2 will be 8. If it's times 3, it will be 12. If it's more, we'll grow. The rest assured will grow. So on this occasion, I am going to introduce my first speaker, who is going to be talking about the aims and objectives of our meeting today. And it's no other person than the gentleman that has spoken initially. His name is Mr. Roland Iperi. Please, let's give him a round of applause.
I know the day is fast spent, so I'm not going to take too much of your time. I just want to run through the aims and objectives of the Support Network movement. So that when you walk through the door next time, when another person is coming in, you should know clearly why they are here. When we talk, we focus on what we want to achieve. Not like someone said here. And we are lucky the Creator has deposited in every one of us special gift. I remember one of my Jewish mentors used to tell me, Roland, with all the gift that God has given to you, and if you don't use that gift for the purpose of humanity, he said, when you go upstairs, for him, the upstairs is heaven. When you go upstairs, when your diary here on earth is open to you, how are you going to defend that old man's advice has never departed from me? So it's important that you all have different gifts, and those gifts should be used for humanity. And that is where you will have your blessings from Him that has created you in His own image. So what are the aims of this group? The first aim is to make sure the Peter Obi project is a pan-Nigerian project. All of us here will appeal to you. If we are selling the Peter Obi project to anybody in Nigeria, we must remember it must be a pan-Nigerian project. Anything else, we are boxing Obi Taekwondo. We should not, in our actions, in our attitude, in our utterances, behave in a manner where Peter Obi will cage him. So Peter Obi for this group, that is project. It's the pan-Nigerian project. The aim is to promote that project. Number 2 aim of this group, and some of our people have said it before, I want to emphasize it. You see, most of the things that happen in Africa, very sad as it is, the people who make decisions for Africans, all over Africa, the decisions are taken in Europe and America. Who want to become the president of Nigeria, prime minister, president of Kenya, all those things are done either in parliament here or in Washington, D.C., The Western country, they always make that decision. And we've allowed them, the leaders that have emerged in Nigeria or in Africa, they allowed parliamentarians, American politicians to interfere in our political affairs. And of course, the different unpatriotic leaders are sold to parliamentarians, American senators, and of course, they collaborate and make sure nothing positive happens in Africa. But we cannot blame them for all of our problems. But we have the responsibility as a group here. The Peter Obi project, we need to internationalize it. We need to sell it. The positives about it that we talked about here today. We have to sell the positives to people who can help to promote that vision we all collectively have here. You see, I always ask my friends, when they travel, how come India is moving? How come Singapore moved? How come Malaysia moved? How come China moved? What is wrong with Black Africa? What is wrong with Black Africa? In my number of years here, 7 years, I was serving in the Middle East, I realized something among Africans. We have lost our traditional, cultural, belief, and value systems in Africa. We've embraced everything Western culture. Corruption that I talked about in Africa. Who gave Africans corruption? Who gave African corruption? Those of you who are in top public places in this country know what happened. We can't say. Peter Obi is trying to restore that lost Nigerian traditional cultural belief and value system of integrity, honesty, human dignity, equity, justice, self-sacrifice, common good, trustworthiness, transparency. Remember what he says about transparency, accountability. See how much he saved for the people of Anambra State. And up to now, in Nigerian history, a governor that left so much money, 75 billion or so naira, for an incoming person to take over from him. How many Nigerian leaders have done that? And of course, the fear of the Creator. Yes, we have a lot of leaders say they are Christians, they are Muslims, they are imams. Did they really understand what God is? The qualities of God, the Creator. They don't understand it. No. But this guy speaks someone who really understands how nature works. The aim of this organization is to make sure we restore and maintain, as well as say, to bring some sort of discipline and understanding of what we have to do. You see, we have a problem. I was saying initially when I spoke, from the Civil War, while the rest of the country were fighting to keep Nigeria one, you know what happened? Cliques were being built while others were fighting to keep Nigeria one. We were suppressing our brothers and sisters, you know, because of our wrong interpretation of what took place in January 1966. So many millions died. But in the process of that civil war, powerful political and military cliques were built up. It is that power that still keeps Nigeria in the present position. Peter Obi, probably by the intervention of the Creator, is trying to dismantle that political class. We as a group need to support that effort to dismantle that political class, that has political and military class, that has kept us under captivity. Nigerians have been clamoring for patriotic, committed, purposeful leadership over the years. Over the years. From 1979 to date, we haven't got that. All of them that emerged, or who have ruled Nigeria in the past, none of them have demonstrated patriotism? No. No. Are they really committed to the Nigerian project? No. If you're a committed Nigerian and you believe in that patriotism, what is happening in the north, what is happening elsewhere, should not happen. Should not happen. They won't fail. Peter Obi give us that vision that we may be able to get patriotism. We will be able to get committed leaders. And we will be able to get the leadership as a purpose. This group is about it as well. Perhaps those two can go together. There is a difference. We must promote a new brand of leadership. A new brand of leadership. That leadership should be equipped with ideas, knowledge, and experience. I've had the opportunity to listen to some of these so-called leaders who want to come again, even from the past, to the ones that they are now dishing out or selling to Nigerians. Listen to them. You don't even understand the world that they are living in. And you don't understand the problem that Nigeria faces. No. Only this man to be. He comes with idea, knowledge, and experience. And he's the only person I think will solve the plethora of problems that's confronting our country, Nigeria. Another person that's stepping there in 2023, probably, what my young man just said before, that question will probably come up. Another person comes in there in 2023, will probably start the process of the breaking up of Nigeria. That is what we should fight against. United is better for all Nigerians. But if this man is stopped from getting to where we think there's a force behind him, if we now try to fight against that force, what Nigerians fear most is going to happen. And if it does happen, I'm telling all of us sitting in this room, the will be sad for every one of us. And I believe every family will suffer from that. And we must fight to make sure we play our role very well. That when the time came for us to perform a specific role, we perform that role to the glory of the Creator and then the glory for our own individual and collective consciences as Nigerians abroad that really, really love Nigeria and the country to succeed. Then, the other one there, to support the president that will have the courage, intellect, discipline, focus, drive, and determination to break the dependency culture of the states on the federal government. You see, nobody wants to work. They are waiting for government allocations, right? And that is the crux of the matter. The government's port is being financed from the oil from the Niger Delta. Nobody cares anymore. Once the federal government, the proceeds from the oil, now gives allocation to the states, nobody cares. The main purpose of the allocations, they don't know. That dependency culture needs to be broken. I don't think any of the political leaders, people who are spending billions, thousands of dollars to buy votes, you think they will stop that sharing or giving of allegations to stop? They will not stop. But I think they will be able to do that. So we must again support that effort. Someone said something that I took notice of. That point. Nobody ever knew, apart from the NSA group, and we saw Nigerians for once came together. Who would have ever thought? That a Nigerian living can mobilize Nigerians the way Nigerians will mobilize? Who would have ever thought that it could happen in our time? I was telling someone recently, we don't have a leader Someone who can unite the various groups. We don't have that. But what we've seen the younger ones, the youth have done, if you guys will allow me to say, Peter Obi has become the unifying force. He has really become a national leader. He's not an ethnic leader. A national leader that the young ones can relate to. They've taken to be battle to every corner in Nigeria without the need for him to create structures in the 36 states. And it is very important. And I personally believe, and the group believes, these structures that these so-called political parties create, a requirement that every party must have XYZ office structures and people. I personally believe, and think this group believes, that is a place where corruption breeds. That is where elections are rigged. That is where people pay a lot of dollars to make sure their candidate emerges. What Peter Obi's model, engaging the citizens of the country, that model has now opened a new face in Nigeria. And I believe sincerely standing here, what that will do for Nigeria is going to be with Nigeria even after Peter Obi has gone. A worthwhile legacy that Nigerians should please take note. Who would ever thought one individual would be able to mobilize the youth the way he has done? No living Nigerian leader has been able to do that. But he did that. From the north, to the southwest, to the southeast, to the south-south, every young man has keyed into that mind. Citizen engagement. The policies of highest bidder. Peter said he doesn't have any money to pay delegates. People were spending $20,000 we heard, reported, paying delegates. The man as the party flag bearer. Peter said no. He has started a movement. And there's now a cry in Nigeria to weed out the policies of the highest bidder. Why wouldn't we support someone like that? That is where all our problem starts. You have the money, they pay the money to get their votes, and you expect that person to perform for the country. He will recoup his investment. And we've been doing that since 1979 to now. But this man is now about to break that cycle. We need to support him. That's one of the aims of this group. The last point there is very important. Again, go back to just watch the videos of the so-called candidates who have now come to say they are party political bearers. Watch the video. Look at the situation in the world, the economic, the world affairs, the international relations, the international financial institutions, and international trade, where African countries have just signed some sort of trade deals. Thank God for Ngozi, the one there, and we met the WTO. How many, to that presidential candidates, how many of them understand the language of world economic affairs? How many of us actually understand the language of international relations? How many of them actually understand how the World Bank operates? Actually, even the African Development Bank, how many of them understand how it operates? And international trade. None. Rather, they will depend on the chains of advisors, presidential advisors. You see them, they wear their big gowns, presidential advisors. Oh, I'm a special presidential advisor. For what? What value are you adding to the presidency?
Nothing.
Do we need people like that to become a president? Well, basic things where a president will be able to analyze the situation in the world and act. He's waiting for a presidential advisor to prepare notes for him. And this modern age is that the sort of leadership we need in Nigeria. Standing here, standing here, but I'm going to say no. No. And this movement, I believe, believes no. Nigeria has come to a state whereby you must put the round pegs in the round hole, the square peg in the square hole. For me, he is the only politician that can hit the ground, run, and be able to deal with our problem and salvage a country that is about to collapse. These are the aims of the group. And I will appeal to all of you. Nigeria is on the verge of a new dawn. Nigeria is on the verge of a new dawn. That new dawn, I believe, that new dawn is in the hand of this man. And the aim of this group, if it will be support network movement, it's all about making sure we provide that support that Nigeria should achieve that new dawn for everybody, for our children, for ourselves, so that we can leave a lasting legacy for people who are coming after us. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Jay. So eloquently put. Thank you so much. Our next speaker is going to be no other person but Anthony Daniels, who will be speaking on what we as Nigerians and Nigeria stand to gain under Peter Obi government. So Daniels, please.
Thank you. All right. We have had a lot of different people, different speakers, even during the introduction. A lot of people spoke and covered a lot of grounds as well. And they kind of touched some parts of the things I'm supposed to say now, which is okay. P2B, as we know, we are here to support, to promote, and to make sure he succeeds. And we have to understand also what we stand to gain as a country, and as individuals, as groups, as citizens of the country. Mr. Roland said a lot about P2B, what he has achieved, and what we are expecting him to achieve as well. And we are all hoping and believing that it's going to happen that way. We have faith, and faith brings possibility. And possibilities is the foundation of hope. We are very hopeful that with the emergence of new change that we're expecting, and we're about to campaign, it's going to bring many things, but I'm going to put them under two cautious. The enablement of the system of Nigeria and the sustainability of Nigerian economy. I will speak from experience, because some people say, we don't know how we got to where we are today. We don't know how the youth, or how we had so much unemployed people in the country. I know. Because we were the first people that entered the labor market in Nigeria after our youth service in 1986. The government declared no employment, they called it employment embargo. I was there. I just came out as a youth corper. And imagine you graduating, finishing education, hoping to get a good job, and the first thing the president will say after your graduation, after your youth service, is that there's employment, there's an embargo on employment. So what happened? All the people that finished with service that year went into the labor market and there was no job. No job. So we were floating all about the country. What happened? Students were still in school. People were still getting admission to universities. The following year, they rolled out another graduates, another corporate south. They came, they met us. That's times 2 now. Third year, the same thing happened. The fourth year, the same thing happened. The fifth year, they decided to be taking trickles of people they want to work. That is where the language they call IM came about. You don't know what IM means? If you don't know anybody, forget about job. If you don't know who knows somebody, forget about job. People like us, who were smart enough, the little money I saved from youth service, I ran to a lawyer. I said, please, I want to start business. How can I start? He said, you have to register a company. I said, I'm here to register. He said, do you want to run? I said, no, I want limited. You know those days, if you're limited, if you put international. Yes. I said, I want to go home and take somebody. You need somebody. Have to be two. And I went. This is a story. Life story. I went to my friend. He was sleeping because there was nothing to do. The only job we had there was to sleep. I woke him up. I called him. I said, come, by the power conferred on me, I hereby make you a director. The guy said, Tony, this is real life. This is not school, oh. That thing you talk proper in school. This is real. I said, my friend, no. Make you a director. That was how we formed the business. We ran the business in Nigeria. So that story is a very long one. That we ran the business, we jammed the rock, because there was no an enabling environment. And we ran. And we're here. Now we're here. We want to run home again. Because we're tired. So the reason why we want Peter Obi is because of his vision to create an enabling environment for us to thrive. I came from business background. Never worked for anybody. You understand what I'm saying? So we know when Peter Obi says, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that, it's from his own experience, both in finance, economics, governance, and even in the entrepreneurial platform. He knows what he's talking about. So that was what I said, follow who know the road. So people like us, Madam said, we are all politicians. Yes. There are people that live by politics. I never lived like that. But by design of human being, we're politicians, even in our homes. But now we want to be politicians by profession. Because there's no point sitting back and be watching. Yes. And things will be going wrong. Putting soap in your eye, and you're cleaning and crying. We want to be at the center of things. Yeah. We want to make a change. I want to be part of the change. You cannot sit on the fence anymore. No more. We want to be part of the change. We want a situation where Peter Obi will pick up a cup. We have, Roland said something. I call him Roland here. So he said something about political advisors. Listen, I do business. I don't sleep. I wake up 1 a.m. Yeah. So if I wake up and discover there is a problem I need to solve, and this is how I have to solve it, do I have to be calling my secretary? Do I have to call a political advisor and say, see, God just gave me a vision, please write it down. Does it work? It doesn't work. So we want people that will deal with situations in situ, not as it happens. television, write it down. It's in the Bible.
Yeah, and run with it.
And wrong with it. I know this B2B, somebody, something spoke to him and said, you can do this. He didn't just wake up and say, I want to become a president. I've heard his story about how he entered politics in the first place. He packed up everything he was doing and went into politics. Not that he was broke, but he was looking for money or to be hired. No. He was doing well. Like he said, that he needs to contribute to the society he came from. I think he went here, he studied here, he did business here. Yes. So he went back to give back to his country. This CSR or PSR, personal responsibilities, he just want to give back. So my take of my major point here is this man we want to promote is going to create an enabling environment. I've had my friends speak. I've had so many people speak. The major thing, the theme, is we want our children to identify with Nigeria. We want for them to be able to say, I'm a Nigerian. My friend, my children, you can't tell them they're Nigerians. They say, oh no, you are a Nigerian, well, I'm not Nigerian. I said, I'm Nigerian, you are Nigerian. No, you are Nigerian, Dad, you are Nigerian. I'm not Nigerian. So who are you? You understand? We argue. I said, because I'm Nigerian, I said, no, Dad. I'm not Nigerian. You are Nigerian. That's okay, leave it. Something like that. Do you understand? So we want, or we know, that he's going to create that enabling environment. When you talk about enabling environment, we're talking about security here. All of us know that you cannot go to Nigeria and walk about anyhow. You can, even people you know can't visit you anyhow. You are allowed them to visit you. We're not talking about even traveling from Kaduna to Abuja. On the road. On the road.
Even by air.
Even trade. Which one? We have to get our leader to create that enabling environment in the form of security, in the form of financing. You know, he said one day, I listened to him because I didn't just come here because I didn't have anything to do. He said he will get the banks. When he is in power, he will make the banks, he will put as law that the banks will be giving up a percentage of their money as loan to small investors. Empowerment. And when it's law, it's law. In this country, it happens. The banks here, the financial institutions, they have quota. They have this amount of money they must lend. That's why they send you emails every time. That's why they tell you to come and take credit cards. That's why they say that they will come to bank, you want to cash what they said. Do you know that you are entitled to overdraft? Been there before. To take small money. He said, you know, the system is showing you can get 50,000. I said, what? Really? He said, yeah, it's here. You want it? I said, let me see it. Bring it here. Are you sure? I said, yes, bring it. Sign here, sign there. I said, gosh. I said, go and apply for 10,000 naira in Nigeria. If you don't have house, forget it. They need the document. They need this, they need that, they need this, they need that. That is not the environment that businesses thrive in. And Peter Obi has promised that he will make it mandatory for banks to give out loans percentage of the money to small investors. That is somebody that has vision. And when that is law, it's law. There's nothing one can do about it. They will start, very soon they start writing people, you know you can get 1 million naira. Okay? We didn't have that opportunity when we were doing business in Nigeria. That's a limited environment. Security, listen, the problem of security is, or the cost of security is well known to everybody. Unemployment, I told you how unemployment started. I was part of it. We were the beginners started unemployment. So tell me, when you now decide that you want to start employment, about 5 sessions, 5, what will I say now, roll-ups of graduates, millions of people already there. So that was what built up to what you're seeing today. So the country can never overcome the issue of unemployment unless we go by the vision of Peter Obi, by creating small businesses. He said he wanted that. In fact, everything that he says always brings better. If you create small businesses, small business will employ small people. If you have a small business, you have 5 workers. You open a business, you have 10 workers. This one open, that one open. 10 workers, 20 workers here and there. There was a way he multiplied it. He said by the time you know you have employed 300,000. Just like that.
Yeah.
By just giving somebody 500,000 naira, 1 million naira, they're creating small businesses. And people are trying and making a living from there. Become your own boss. These ones, you have 5 workers working under you. You have enabled them. We have enabled environment. Once you get that, security will be halved. Security issues will be halved. Because most of the people that are being these security issues, engaged in security issues, is because of idleness, unemployment. Some of them are even graduates, like, where right? There's nothing to do. I've met a lot of them in Nigeria. The way they talk. So we need to do whatever it takes to get a proper leader that has this vision, that has the qualifications. Somebody that can at least operate this computer. Somebody that knows how to use financial tools to make decisions. That is why Peter Obi, we are pushing him. Because he understands economics. And that is what runs nations. Imagine somebody said, a senator said that Peter Obi cannot be a president, that he read economics, that he should be supporting, he should be behind the president. So I remember Peter Obi responding, saying, why will you make me an assistant when
the main player? Why would you make the main player to sit?
To sit behind, and you are piloting. You sit behind, and when you should be the pilot, and you sit behind you. It's not. It's not practical. The fears of so many people in the government now is that there is a tsunami or like a major force coming in form of Peter Obi to sweep the nation, to change the system, the way it's working presently, and they are afraid. Why? Because they have been living on this kind of adulterated system, a system where if you find $1 million in one bag, you look left, you look right, nobody is watching you. You carry the money and run. and nobody will ask. Okay? So he is the one that is going to do that thing. But the problem is that most of the senators now on seat, he has already said that he's going to cut this. Let senators be by salary. I was telling you, what if they make senators to receive 1 million naira a month as salary? Yeah? And that is what they get. One official car is okay. Yeah? Do you think they will be jumping up and that they want to be senators? They won't go there. It's not attractive anymore. What is attracting people is the money they're going to make. They're ready to borrow. They're ready to steal and support their vision, because when they get there, they have to recoup. It's a business, pure business. So we haven't been able to get a leader that will check these kind of problems that we have at the moment. So once we get that sorted, the enabling environment, we'll be able to be talking about sustainability. The country, Nigeria, has never set up any sustainable development. If you know one, tell me. Okay? No sustainable development ever is set up in Nigeria. Same time, the same story about unemployment. I will tell you another story about development in Nigeria. How many of us have heard of Operation Feed the Nation? Have you heard that before?
Yes.
Where is it today?
Water farm.
Eh?
Water farm.
Operation Feed the Nation. They developed that plan. Operation Feed the Nation. I was there. In fact, these, what they call it now? This empowerment they are doing, development. You know, when you finish university now, they will tell you to go and learn sewing, learn how to do, fix this, fix that. What they call it now? Empowerment, isn't it? Skill development.
Youth empowerment.
Yeah, no, skill, like
Skill development.
Yeah, skill development. We were the ones that started it. We called it entrepreneurship. They sent us to Chicago. I have certificate. 3 months. The government. They sent us there. After the service, they said it's what they call, it was an entrepreneurship training. That was what they called it. And we're happy. We want to. They said when we finish, some people will be giving 50,000, some people will be giving 100,000, some people will be giving 150,000. Yeah? With your certificate alone, you don't need collateral, you just take your certificate, they give you the money. We're happy. And we did. Victoria Island, the office was in Victoria Island at that time. The transport alone to be going from where I was staying in Maryland to Victoria Island was a lot of money. I didn't have it, then we had to go. The queue was there. Up to today, I've not seen 1 naira. People were taking the money, we were seeing people taking the money because they knew people that knew people. Yes. We that came from the village, like Madam and myself, we didn't know anybody in the city. December, 1 penny, I didn't see today. But the problem is, it was a good idea, it was a good development, but where is the development today? Where is the idea now? Where is the main format of that Operation Feed the Nation? It just died out. Why? It was not sustainable. So it was not sustainable. They now call it again green revolution or something. They keep changing name. The last one was Okay. There's another 7-point agenda, so many names, none of them was sustainable. And it's very easy to get sustainable development. And I wonder, and it worries me a lot, that most of us, or most of them in government, did simple O-level economics. I had one book, one small book like this, written by There is
Just
nothing.
book in economics.
Yes, that's economic. O.A. Lawal, Economics of West Africa. That book alone, if you read it from page 1 to the end, you will rule Nigeria. Just follow the instructions there. There's nothing in economy apart from demand and supply. Heat, equilibrium. Export, import. Balance of trade. Peter Obi brought it in as production to consumption to like balance of trade. It's a simple language, simple economics. How come we are not able to overcome? Simple things. Very strange. Some of them studied here. So we even come and say, I went to Oxford University. Simple economics. Go and read that book.
It wasn't verified. Their qualification they studied, they presented, is not verified.
Yeah, verification. Most of them not verified. But what I'm trying to say is, to rule the nation is not very difficult. You just need somebody that has interest in the people, that has the vision to move the nation. Because I said now, if we sit down here and analyze the demand and supply of Nigeria within Nigerian economy, it won't take us 3 hours. We'll find where the problem is. If we want to analyze balance of trade, it will not take us 5 hours. We'll find where the problem is. A nation that imports and doesn't export will be a what? Deficit. Simple. So how do you clear that? Begin to go into production. While you are producing, you look after your internal market and also look forward to external market. That's emphasis. These people, they know that they won't do it. Why? Because it will not bring money to the pocket. Simple. Anything. Somebody told me that why NEPA has not been fixed is because one man is the major importer of generators. The day NEPA will be fixed, no business for him anymore. The country. We're talking about the country here. So we're looking for that man that will bring us to sustainability.
Sorry, sir. People are ready to vote that man in to give them electricity. How is that possible? A man that is already making money from generator.
From generator. I don't want to mention it because it's all about the internet. You understand?
He can easily diversify his business.
Simple. So it's self-interest. The problem, this man has also mentioned, the problem Nigeria has is actually the people. We call it human capital. Our human capital is poor. And how do we develop human capital? Education. Education. That is the one that is even getting me more angry. The educational system in Nigeria.
Collapsed.
That is the worst. For 7 months or 8 months now,
They all strike.
they are strike. Nobody is saying anything about it. And we have
President is not educated, so he does not appreciate it.
Yes.
Good education. He does not know.
So how are we going to move forward? Where are we going from here? Education is the key. Education is the major key. We start from here. We have to start educating people about P2B because some people don't know. Even one lady told me, I was trying to convince her to go and get PVC. Say that doesn't concern me. Anybody God put there, I'm okay. I said, oh God, I will put over there. It's you that we practically go there and say this is special one. He said, no. Do you think your vote is going to count? I said, yes. Just put your own first and leave the rest for God. So we start from here, educating people. Education is the key for everything, or to everything. We have to start with education. Tell people, educate them, tell them like I got one today, that all of us, we are politicians. We don't ever say they are not a politician again. I will never say that again. We are politicians.
We are.
Around that today.
We are political animals.
It's education. So let's go out there and tell people about the aims of this gathering, of this meeting, the vision of our principal, who is Peter Obi, and how we can help him promote the vision. Okay? For me, is that enabling environment. Because there's no point developing or naming, bringing up different names of programs that are not sustainable. Put a name on it, put a tag on it, bring votes, billions of naira towards that particular development. This one will come, they share, they just, I've seen people sharing money.
Sharing money.
I've seen face to face like this in a hotel. There was lodging. I just sat outside. I was sipping some drink like this. Different types of juice started coming in. And I was like, what's going on here? My younger brother said,
Okay.
they're about to do something here. I should watch out. I sat down, just the other side. And shared money. I said, this is Nigeria. I said, yes. That's how you know. So we don't want it to continue that way. And there's no point talking about it without action. Faith. We have faith. But what we follow? Action. Without action,
Faith is dead.
is deadness. So we want to contribute our little vote. For me, if it's that being able to give small businesses small money to take off, it will go a long way to changing Nigeria. It will go a long way to bringing security that we are all afraid of. Because of it, we are not able to go to our country. If you want to go to Nigeria now, you postpone it like 8 times, isn't it? Your wife will be asking you, are you sure what you want to go and do in Nigeria is important? If it's not, sit down. Do you understand? Yes. So when we get that, we'll be able to travel free. We'll be able to visit. The kids, our children will be able to identify as well. So that's my own problem. Security, sustainability, education. I mentioned it here before. Is what I'm doing now. I bring people every day. People who come to this country to study. Even now, I found the cheapest way for people to study in this country and get your degrees and get your masters. Do you understand? That is different business. I don't want to talk about my business here. But what we're talking about is there are many, many ways that we can push forward our country. There are many ways we can market our country. If you don't know, let me tell you, this country makes billions of pounds from education exports. We talk about education, but I'm not talking about exporting goods. Yes. It's exporting the idea that studying in the UK is the best. They are even telling people that the UK that is better than America, is better than Canada. And that is why they have approved 17,000 visas. what they call it, the embassy, is it consulate or something?
Entry visa or student visa, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the Chinese, they are allowed to meet.
Yeah. Multiply that for 10,000 pounds. That is Nigeria alone. Talk about other countries, China, India, things like that. It is a billion pounds industry. I have not seen or received a call one day for somebody to tell me, how can I enter Unilag? I want to study in Unilag from here or from even another country. But now, the people not stealing, the people that are making money from the education you're supposed to be making from this country around us, Cotonou, Benin Republic. Thousands of Nigerians are investing in
Ghana.
Ghana is overseas now. Ghana is like the infant now in Nigeria. I'm talking about the Republic of Benin. Yeah. Republic of Benin. So we need to get that enabling environment, get sustainable development, get the drive, get a good leader with a vision, and all the manifesto that he has put forward. All we are here to do is help him push this thing forward for the sake and the betterment of Nigeria and for our own good as well. That's all.
Thank you. Guys, eye-opening. Unfortunately, we are where we are today.
Sorry, I wanted to ask, is there a way you can avail us of Peter Obi's no vision?
Yeah,
His
Yeah.
roadmap.
Yeah.
Kind of roadmap.
Okay.
What is manifesto?
Manifesto now. Yeah,
We'll get
it's
it. We'll get it.
Okay.
You see, what we don't want to do in this group is we don't want to be a copycat. We want to be a standalone model that people can emulate. So, which is why before we started this meeting today, we spoke to Peter Obi himself about this. He gave us two options. Come to Nigeria and see me, or wait, I'll come here and endorse you guys. We said, we don't want you to come and see us. We want to come and see you. I think that is more honorable.
Yeah.
Because if we are waiting for him to come and see us, his schedule is so busy, we might not be able to kick off. And by the time you know, it might come in October. So we've wasted so many months. So why don't we start the process now? Since we've already put him on notice, and then go and see him and say, this is what we're all about. And then we get that endorsement. And then we can stand tall amongst our equal and say, I'm not doing it because I want to be recognized. I'm doing it because we have identified with the principle and says, we appreciate your vision, we support your vision, and here's our financial means to support your vision. Here's our intellect to support your vision. Here's our resources, any which way it deems necessary to support that vision. So that is where we're coming from. And the next person that is going to be speaking to you guys about going forward is my dear friend, Chief Peter Obi.
Thank you, everyone. As the first people and the second person has spoken, I know the purpose of our meeting, I believe everybody has understood it by now. And I want to talk about the way going forward. As Mr. Daniel said about all the unsustainable things they have put together. Shopee Operation Feed the Nation and all those things. Those things that when they come, it doesn't move forward. It doesn't go anywhere because it's not sustainable. We want to talk about how this very meeting we are having, how this very group, we can move forward from here, not just about talking about it, but what do we do with it. My brother Jonathan said, getting endorsement from Mr. Peter Obi. When we started this journey, and we talked about it, we meet our boss, our advisor, who are the one that has been in the terrain for a long time, who knows what to be done. And he said, before we can go forward, we need that endorsement. And when we got that endorsement, you and I now have a platform to stand on to push forward. And that's why John said that endorsement is what will now give us the push. Whereby the next time when we come here, we'll be able to now tell you the next move. But this is just a preparation for that move. We need an endorsement. And by God's grace, we have spoken to him. He has agreed with our plan. And so very soon, by the time we meet again, we all will see that endorsement that we have been given the endorsement to represent him in UK and Ireland. There are so many groups, but they are all still WhatsApp chat groups. None of them has met him or have got that with them or spoken to him for that, except this very group you are in now. So very soon this group is going to be the main group, the major representative of Peter Obi presidential ambition. So this very one you are in now is this thing. So we are going to get the endorsement, and after officially endorsing our plan, now our plan will go public, whereby the other ones, they will join us, because I know we all want a better Nigeria.
Yeah.
All of us here are yearning for better Nigeria. I schooled in the north. My secondary school and my primary and secondary school was done in the north, in Bauchi State. So there is nothing like, as we are talking, oh no, Nigeria will need to be broken. Nigeria is just because we have bad leadership. Corruption, bad leadership. I was listening to BBC Africa, the documentary they had with Hausa and Fulani Zamfara state. All they are saying is that the government is the problem they have. Because the Fulani people we are talking about, their children, they are not going to school. They are talking about their cattle don't water for this, no veterinary for their cattle, nothing. So they are fed up as well, just like the Hausas. So they are killing each other now. They are kill this and the other people go and kill. They are killing this. So the problem is not about, it's about our leaders. Bad leadership. That's what kept Nigeria where it is now. And corruption. Bad leadership breeds corruption. So that's what the problem. And because we have now found somebody, a person of in Peter Obi, who have that vision of eradicating or bringing corruption to a minimum level, and also being transparent in his plan or what he intends to do, we agreed to partner with him, not for anything, not about him giving us money, any financial endorsement or whatever. No, it's because we want a better Nigeria. My children want to go to Nigeria. They ask me, Daddy, when will we go to Nigeria, this and that? I say we will go when the time is right. Because you cannot see what is happening now and take children to Nigeria, and you cannot sleep, they will not sleep, and you are planning of running back. So that's why we want to support Peter Obi campaign in every form, area, or however we will be able to. And I know we can do it. We can do it. Our voice, and we don't want to do it the way that I will not say others are doing it, because there are people who gather together to do something like the way they are doing it. But I wouldn't want us to do the way others are doing it. We want to do it whereby he knows what we are doing for him. We are not doing it for him to give us money or whatever, but we want to make sure that we partner with him, and by God's grace, he won the election, and then every other thing can follow. We want to, as we have said, you can see, to produce campaign, advertisement, and materials in all the, to push his campaign. Let's put it, to push his campaign, create the awareness. You and I have people who are in Nigeria, whom we send money to, whom we talk to. We have people who will help, and we have people who do one thing or the other for us. So it's to create that awareness whereby we have to push, even if you are making calls, please go and make sure you get your PVC, because PVC is a, if you don't have PVC, you are just talking. It doesn't make any sense. So it's to encourage those people so that they can get their PVC, whereby we in this very place are also contributing in every form. That phone call is also another kind of contribution. And the advertisement to be aired both on radio and television, we want to see all those things. That is where our partnering with him comes in, whereby we don't need to, if we see what we can do or we find what we can do, we don't need, as long as it's in partnership with his vision, is to support his vision. Support his vision. And by supporting his vision, we need to do all those things, creating the awareness and pushing it forward, whereby people can key in and make whatever that is necessary to do. Create and do all kind of getting formed. But before we can go on to go do set up all those GoFundMe account and all those things, we need the endorsement, because otherwise it will be as if you are collecting people's money for nothing. You have to get that approval from the very person you want to set up such a thing. Then you can set that up. And we will also be very, very transparent on whatever that we doing here or whatever is being done. Every one of us will have that open to them to scrutinize every time, especially when it comes to money. When we are talking about money, people want to know what their money is being done with their money. So this very group will be very, very transparent, and so that everything goes very well. And I know by the time we finish what we intend to do, and by God's grace, he wins the election, I believe you and I, our contribution will not be forgotten. Why? Because the environment, the Nigeria we dream about might come. And if it comes, it's our contribution that made it possible. You can now say we are happy that we did what we are doing today. This is a beginning. The next time the room will be bigger, the people will be bigger, but as my sister said, it's not about the number, because this is a very big number from the beginning. This is a very good number. The quality is what matters. When Gideon wanted to go to war, God said, blow your horn and people will come the other way. There was a lot of people who come to follow him. God said, no, this is too much. It's not what we intend, because I don't see these people as people who are ready for that war until he reduces it, and then now we say this is the number. So it doesn't matter. Our number, what we have here, can push that mountain. We can roll it and we can do all things. So I stop here because time well spent, but we are moving forward. By the next meeting after that endorsement, we will know everything we have instead of
Money, they say, is the root of all evil. So, and this is why it's a political mindset.
The love of money.
Love of money.
Love of money, yeah?
Money answereth all things.
Okay. And then the love of money is the root.
The love is the love, yeah.
It's the law.
But, yeah, not the money itself, right? I like my brother. So, saying that, we will not ask anybody for 1 penny until Peter says so. And the intent is whatever is spent, we want his team to be in that management board. His team will account we spend. Does that make sense? Yeah. So we go to him and says, okay, this is the project we want to do. This is how much we want. Do you endorse that project? Do you have a project you want us to finance? We finance. And then we get a statement analysis. Says, which we published for transparency's sake, because that is what it represents. And that is what will motivate everyone in this room to dip even deeper into their pocket to bring money out. My satisfaction is not, oh, come and take political appointment. I don't want. Because today, I can go to Nigeria, sleep in any hotel, eat any food. I'm not afraid of anybody knocking my door ready to get your money from. Because that is what independence represents. My wife and I, we attended a very good friend, childhood friend's daughter's marriage. In that marriage, the father-in-law said, he's a businessman in Nigeria. And he said something, he goes, if you want to do business in Nigeria, if you don't factor 10% in for theft, your business will collapse. And I said, what do you mean, why 10? He said, well, if you invest in 100 million today and you say you are expecting 100 million back in return, because people there are getting paid, but the pay is peanuts. They have to feed their family. So therefore they dip their hand in the cookie jar and take some cookies. But when you invest 100 million and you say, what? I'm only expecting 9,900,000 and something thousands, then you factor in that 10% and say that 10% is for my fellow countrymen and women. Take care of yourself. They work hard for you. They'll call you Rakadede. They'll recognize you. They'll prepare to defend you. That is what the North represents. This Almajiri, you see the feed and stuff like that, they use them, they feed them, and then they glorify their provider. And then when the politicians came, what did they do? They leverage on that. They took advantage of that. Oh, the North will not vote for a Saturday. Lie. The Muslim will not vote a Christian. Lie. Why? This man here that we are speaking about today has changed that. Gone were the days where a politician from the South would be scared to go to the North to campaign. He has barely gone in there, even though he goes there. But the Northerners are the ones campaigning for Peter Obi, right? Have you seen the videos? You've seen he goes to the North, you see what he's doing, you see the kids coming out, the adults coming out. There is a program going on right now in Nigeria that you're probably not aware of. That is the desensitization of the Nigerian mentality in the North especially. So a group of Obi people have come together. They started going into the interior village and having dialogue with the diehard, breaking their resistance. They are now beginning to see our Obi as Mutumina. Those that here will say, now our own. It's no longer say from the east, they call them, there's a name they also call people from the east. Inyamiri. They don't call them that anymore because this man has changed that perception. So today, I am going to be very brief because I'm aware time is very well spent. I'm just going to talk about the childhood of Peter Obi and his accomplishment. The man Peter Obi was born on the 19th day of July 1961 at Tunisia in Anambra State, in Nigeria, of course. Raised alongside his sibling, Bibiana Adeni, his older sister, and Fabian Obi, among other members of his family. He was a precocious kid who knew the value of money at a very tender age. At the age 9, how many of us went into business at 15? At the age 9, whilst still in primary school, Peter Obi was selling kerosene. Making money because he was aware his father had just passed. The responsibility of taking care of his mom and his dad, his siblings, lies with him. And when the man went into secondary school, he did something different. He changed his profession from selling kerosene into selling eggs. How wonderful is that? This made his concerned mother express fear that the money could have a negative influence on his growth. At that tender age, this guy was going into money. He was aware of money. He didn't want money to control him. He wanted to control money. He attended Santa Maria Primary School in Onitsha, thereafter proceeded to Christ the King College, both in Onitsha. While at Christ the King College, he changed the street to sales of hair, then shoes and clothes. This is where Peter Obi made his money from.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said, yeah.
This is where he made his money from. He started designing his own clothes, mass producing his clothes. Whilst he was still in secondary school, he was already counting millions. So when people start talking about wealth creation, this man understood the principle of creating wealth. And then when he proceeded to the university to study economics, it just aligned itself with his belief. Money, the principle of managing money and creating money, which is why he confidently stood and said, I will change Nigeria in 4 years. It's a vague statement many politicians will make. But the slide I'm going to show you in a moment will tell you that was not just a vague statement Peter Obi made. Because in 4 years of being a governor, he changed Anambra State. And in the other 4 years that made it 8 years for being a governor of that state, the state became a state to be reckoned with financially. So, moving on. That's Peter himself. I chose not to elaborate so much because I'm conscious of time, but I'm going to play you this video. Some of you would have seen this video before, but please
Mr. Peter Obi has been
just listen to that.
Born into an entrepreneurial family from Agolo, Anambra State, and happily married with 2 children. He's a successful businessman, banker, and a public servant of extraordinary breed, who served as the governor of Anambra State from 2006 to 2014. He's known as an advocate of good and transparent governance, a national public icon, an epitome of moral character and humility personified. In the honor of the 64th birthday of this extraordinary man, let us pause and take a look at the giant stride of his phenomenal 8 years of service to good people of Anambra. My name is Chamaka Favor Obuma. In health system, Mr. Peter Obi administration built from scratch Teaching Hospital with 25 building structures. His government funded transformation of massive infrastructural development, accreditation of 12 health institutions, 2 hospitals, also built 10 maternal and child care centers across the state. He is the first governor to purchase medical equipment of about 135 million and 50 live ambulances to our hospitals, which are still functioning till date. He built and equipped Joseph Milo Heart Center in St. Joseph Adazinuku, where heart operations are performed. Anambra State was the first state in Nigeria to distribute more than 30,000 computers, 22,500 HP to secondary schools. Mr. Peter Obi distributed about 700 school buses to secondary schools in Anambra State and built 200 primary school blocks. Donation of 300 million and 444 million naira to Anglican and Roman Catholic churches to rehabilitate their school. During his tenure, he gave 1 million each to more than 160 first-class graduates in Nigerian university. To promote reading culture in the state, he erected and adequately equipped Professor Kennedy Duke Modern Library, Oka, rehabilitated Divisional Library Onitsha, also gave 500,000 to each secondary school in the state to provide library materials and books. This revolution tremendously boosted the performance of students from 26th position in 36 states to the first position. The improvement of security was exceptional. He gave out 1 security vehicle each to 177 communities in the state. He cleared pension and gratuity owned since 1990, about 37 billion naira, and also paid monthly stipend to instructors. Mr. Peter Obi built the first secretariat complex to house state government ministries that were scattered around the state. His good governance attracted the second largest brewery in the world, Samila, to build their first greenfield facility in the state. He was recognized as the best governor by the Millennium Development Goal in the implementation of their programs in Nigeria. Mr. Peter Obi constructed 2 bridges across the popular Agro Lake in Anocha local government area of Anambra State, a project cost of 2 billion naira. He funded Agro Lake Hotel Project Golden Tube, reconstruction of Opi Way Gahead Bridge houses of Enugu Onitsha Expressway to 6 lanes. Mr. Peter Obi constructed 800 kilometers of road network between rural and urban area. Some of the roads include Ibariami Internal Roads, Ekulobia Ezinifite Road, Niger Drive GRA Road Onitsha, Iftedun Road. He constructed Zik Avenue and Wupor Flyover, 30 verifiable bridges, Ezu Ebenebe Bridge Okanot, Isu Anocha Bridge, Okwaka River Bridge, commissioned the longest bridge over river in Orumba North, pedestrian bridge at Thameside Unizik Junction. He created industrial park to act as catalyst for industrialization. He constructed and commissioned Governor's Lodge at Annex Onitsha, FMR Customary Court of Appeal Building, High Court at Nnewi and Ogidi, Judges Quarters at Onitsha. Local government system in the state witnessed unprecedented transformation under his great governance. He distributed 1.2 billion credit facilities to farmers in the state and cleared 20 million debt owed the bank by Anam farmers as a result of 2012 flood devastation. Mr. Peter Obi purchased 90 buses and taxis for Anis Mass Transit Company. His administration adopted best practice in waste disposal because he provided over 300 billion worth of waste evacuation trucks and receptacles. Nigerian Debt Management Office rated Anambra as the least indebted state in Nigeria. Mr. Peter Obi bequeathed 75 billion naira to his successor. With these projects and many more I couldn't cover in this short video, the credibility and competency of Mr. Peter Obi is undisputable.
All right. This was a governor under 8 years that depend on the revenue coming from the federal government, subsidy, wherever state allocation. with that state allocation, you can see what the man accomplished in 8 years. So you can imagine if he's the one that is sitting in charge of the money himself, what he would do with Nigeria. So my brothers and sisters, the days of political affiliation is over. The days of result-oriented political movement is now. So please, don't be swayed that this man is from my tribe. I support him. Unfortunately, we can't vote, but we can do one thing. And that thing that we can do is to influence the mindset of our people back home. So that when the time comes, they think with their head, not their stomach. And secondly, we'll come back again. Please, be generous. Today, I don't even want to qualify how much we spent. But we did it from our own pocket. If need be, we'll continue to do it from our own pocket. But you know what they say? A load becomes lighter when the load is shared by everybody. So when we go meet with this man, get the official endorsement, we'll come back again, we'll have a meeting. And says, now let's go public. How do we go public? What will public look like? And what yardstick do we set or parameter do we set in place to measure our success? And I think if we are identified as the group that produces some of its campaign in English and in all local dialects in Nigeria and pay for the commercial to be advertised, that will be an impact. So the resources that he is supposed to be using to do that can be diverted somewhere else. That is a project I think we can take. Not just we sitting in this room, because we're going to grow in number and we're going to reach out to other obedient across the globe. But this is our springboard. Ireland will be our springboard. Across Europe will be our springboard. Then we'll reach out to those people that didn't want to see us because they perceive us as threats. We're in a group. We thought we were supporting the same man, Peter Obi. And then I posted this invitation on that group. Less than 5 minutes, I get kicked out. And I called the gentleman and said, why did you have to do this? If you had the need to kick me out, perhaps call me privately first and find out what the rationale is for posting that. Let's see how we can gel together.
So, here today, once again, this is what we are all about. The labor for a better Nigeria begins. Mr. Peter Obi for President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, 2023. Make your vote count, taking Nigeria from consumption to production. Your PVC is your mandate. Voice and right. Nigeria remains hopeful for a national rebirth. Together we remain obedient. And I just want to appreciate me being over here, because you know I am absolutely delighted when Nigeria gets its great leader. I would love to see Kenya getting a new leader. As many of you know, I put my name forward, standing as Madam President. I wanted to be elected, and you know politics in Africa or in Kenya as well is not that easy. So it's great pleasure to be part of this movement and to see that the Nigerians are coming together to support their aspirant, to support on the diaspora. Nigerian is beginning to support their aspirant. That is what we want for Kenyans as well, and I indeed support that. And I'm absolutely privileged to also enter the RLP, Republican Liberty Party, to also be the pioneer and also the person who is championing change and also championing transformation under Republican Liberty Party so that we can see the change. It's great to see Honorable Innocent Mogaka right here and to see, and of course, for those who want to support and Kilgore Ward in Kisii needs such great change makers, and of course youths. I want to support, I'm supporting this wonderful youth to rebirth Kilgore Ward. So ensure that if you're a person from Kilgore Ward, you have voted for our wonderful Honorable Innocent Mogaka. I want to champion change, and of course I want to see alternative presidential candidates across Africa. We need to be doing that so that we can have great transformation across Africa. We are tired of the same old leadership that we've had, and we want to remove this kind of idea, what we have seen for many, many years. Thank you all for watching. We're back right here. Thank you. Oh,
lovely young
yes,
lady.
sir. Yes, my dear.
I'm just curious because I do a lot of business in
Come.
Nigeria.
You're welcome. Come. Do you want to come in?
No,
come in and just sit down. Because,
Yeah, okay,
come and
I
sit down.
can't stay long.
It's okay, that's fine.
Because
Come.
I'm going to another meeting.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm curious, so we do a lot of business. We're in Port Harcourt, we're in
Okay.
Lagos,
Yeah,
we're
sure.
in Abuja.
Okay, do you want to say that? Then I'll remember.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm recording here. Go and
You
tell
want to say
people what
something?
you are. What you do. What's your name?
I just met this lovely young lady.
I'm
don't even know
African
her
Wonder
name.
Woman.
What's your name?
Juliet Makapila.
Julia, I just saw a sign outside
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Nigeria because
Yeah.
I've got lots of Nigerian friends here.
Thank you.
I've got Nigerian friends in Spain. I'm
Yeah.
half Italian, but
Okay.
we do a lot of business in Nigeria.
Right, yeah.
So we do business in Port Harcourt and Abuja
Excellent.
and Lagos.
Yeah.
We're an education provider, but we're online.
Yeah.
And we have teams over there. We teach people about e-commerce, trading, franchising. So we're expanding really quickly. One of my mentors, a gentleman called David Imonitier,
Okay.
is in Houston, Texas. He's originally Nigerian. So I was just really curious, and I saw this lovely lady doing something.
Absolutely.
I'm always,
And I'm always keen to network with people.
entrepreneurs are
Thank you.
networkers.
Thank you.
Your network is your net worth.
Thank
So if
you.
you don't put yourself out there,
Yes.
it's never going to happen. So
And what's your name again?
my name is Vincent. So I run an online education franchise.
Excellent.
We've already taught 1 million people all over the world
Wow.
how to trade, how to invest,
Okay.
build online businesses,
Thank you.
stocks and shares,
Okay.
travel businesses. And we have business already in Nigeria.
Right.
But what I've noticed about Nigerians,
Mhm.
they're particularly entrepreneurial.
Thank you.
So if you want to know anything, speak to this lovely lady.
Thank you. And I'm Juliet Makapila. And my name, you can find me on Twitter, African
Sure.
Wonder Woman.
Wow.
So, African Wonder Woman. So, I love just meeting people as well.
Yeah, me
and
too.
I'm here today just to support the people of
Wow.
Nigeria. So, I'm Kenyan by profession, so by country, but I'm also British here. So, I really just love to promote Africa and the ideas of change. Today, we are
course,
here
yeah.
specifically because Nigeria is going into elections. They're very
That's right,
interested
yeah.
to elect a new president, and so they're here to organize how the Diasporian United Kingdom could be supporting a
Yeah.
leader that they love. And of course, their man
Yeah.
of choice is Peter Obi. So they're
Sure.
here just organizing how they could support the change that is needed, support a change that is wanted and desired by different people, because we are tired of delivery that is not being supporting Africa. So many
Yeah.
diasporians are coming forward to actually just allow themselves to create that change and transformation that is needed, so that we have clean water, we have
Yeah.
things that we want to look. That's why the group is here.
One of my really
Thank you.
good friends, his name is David Imonithithi.
Yeah.
They do water charity in Nigeria.
Excellent.
They go to these villages with a special bucket which
Right.
produces light. So they
Right.
can have an LED light and clean
Excellent.
water. They're doing that. We have people in Kenya, in
Wow.
Nairobi. We have a big
that's
Kenyan team.
Okay.
I have a big
Have you
Kenyan
got a
team.
card by any
No,
chance?
I
Okay.
never
Or you
carry
can
cards
take my
anymore.
number. Take my
Yeah.
number, and then we can continue this
We have a big
conversation.
Kenyan team
Yeah, yeah.
here
Mhm.
and in And in the US...
And thanks for stopping.
No, I'm always curious
Yes,
because, like I said, unless you go out and ask people what's going on...
Absolutely, yeah. So my telephone number is +44.
Yeah, you just
African Wonder Woman.
So should I put it there?
Yes, just put
Okay.
African Wonder Woman.
African...
And then you'll text me and then we can
Then
follow the
I would
conversation.
definitely remember that.
Yes, yeah. And
African,
it's...
if I can spell it.
Yeah, thank you. And you don't mind, I can introduce you
Yeah,
as
I'll
well.
come in very briefly because
Okay,
we're going
sure.
to another meeting. I've
Yeah,
been
sure.
in a conference today. We actually have a meeting.
Okay.
I'll invite you on
what's
Monday.
it?
On
Okay,
Monday
sure.
we have a big meeting here
Okay,
in Millennium Gloucester Hotel.
okay.
It's a paid event, but I can give people... This is my
Okay,
event.
let's
I give
talk
people
about
free
it because
tickets,
we're on
yeah.
air. Yeah, let's talk about
So,
it. Yeah. So it's +44.
Let me just do this.
Yeah, so +44.
How do I do that, mate?
77
77
423
yeah.
84 052.
What I will do...
So text me the
Miss
details.
African woman.
Yes.
Wonder Woman. I will text you that.
Yeah, no, WhatsApp me. That's the best.
I will.
Because I'm on air.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
What I
yeah,
will
that's
do-
okay. That's okay.
I'll do that and I'll WhatsApp you as
And
well.
WhatsApp me as well. Let's come
can
in
very-
just for 2
very
minutes, 5,
briefly
10 minutes.
introduce myself.
Yeah, no, when we're ready, we're fixing.
You locked it from the inside.
They locked it from inside. Okay. So, right, come. They want. I've just met this lovely gentleman, and he's
Sorry to
interested with
intrude.
what we're doing. Come in. Thank you.
Let's lovely lady talking. And I asked her a question and she said, come and say hello.
Yes.
I may not look Nigerian.
We'll give you a passport. No.
All right. We have good relationships in Nigeria. I used to be a school principal, and we used to have a lot of Nigerian students because their parents were not oil and gas. So they send them to do English and then GCSE. So I used to run a school. And 6 years ago, I had enough because I was making a lot of money for other people. So I started my own business, and I now run an online education franchise. We already have teams in Abuja, Port Harcourt, Lagos. We're in Kenya. And what we teach people is about entrepreneurship, how to create wealth in the new economy, because the old economy is done. And one of the challenges we found in Africa particularly is the traditional systems of banking. There's a lot of stuff that happens that people are not happy with. They can't stop it. But if people understand the blockchain and they understand how it works, you can eliminate a lot of corruption. You can eliminate a lot of things people are not happy with. I've got a really good friend called Pastor Emeka. He's got an organisation called Greater Tomorrow Africa Initiative, and they're doing lots of great work out there to help people understand how to thrive in the new economy. Because if you're dependent on your local business, then you'll start. I've got friends. Is it Ben? I can never pronounce it. Benue State.
Yeah,
It's an agricultural area. They have a lot of problems with displacement. So if they can teach young people over there about how to create wealth in the new economy, it doesn't matter where they're located. We went to Johannesburg to introduce the business over there. So we have a lot of affection. One of my best friends is Nigerian. His name is David Imonitie. Yeah, he's one of my really close friends. So I'm studying with his mum. She's a pastor. She's my spiritual mother. Hard time with her. But David is one of my close friends, and he's from Nigeria. They live in Houston, and he's doing loads of charity work out there. So when I saw the banner, I was already curious.
And so I just told him, pop in and talk about it. Thank you.
So we're doing a lot of work in Africa.
Yes.
We wanted to go to Nigeria, but we couldn't because of the whole lockdown. But let's see in the future.
Yeah, give me the details.
He's given me the details. I will share it. Yeah, thank you. African Wonder Woman.
Good job on the name. It's lovely to meet you all. Sorry
Thank
to
you.
interrupt.
That's Thank you. Thank you.
Affection, because I go to a lot of, you don't have to have my faith, you can be any faith, but I go to a lot of churches here, and I know a lot of Nigerians. We go to TLC, which is in Croydon, so it's all good.
Thank you.
God bless. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll all meet again sometime.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, as I was saying, we have 5 minutes at least that I will make sure that do some networking, get the names, and this meeting, maybe next time we will not rule out also Zoom meeting. You know, Zoom is also one of the, another distance. So we will do that. Amen. Let's share the grace.
The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Goodness of mercy shall follow us all the days of our life. All shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen and amen. Thank you.
Please, before you go, as we grow, we will need volunteers. So if you are very good in IT, if you are very good in media, if you are very good in creative content, please volunteer your skill. Let's put something dynamic in place. You understand? Let's utilize what we have. And that is what our man that we've spent time to listen to today is all about. Please, reach out to me. Our telephone number is on the WhatsApp chat about the invitation for here today. You see my name, Chief, and there are other names we're hiding in the background because they are political dynamite. You don't want to be identified before you explode. Boom! Then we'll be in trouble. So please have a safe journey home. We'll see you also. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Careful.
It's +44. Take my number. Just take it on your phone. Thank you so much.
That's fine.
Do you want to tell people why you're here today? Do you want to tell?
I didn't know I was going to be here this week.
+44. Thank you so much. My phone full up, so I couldn't take.
That's not even
today, and it's +44. +44.
Flats.
No, telephone number 077.
I'm not a techie person.
That's it.
So I'm actually confused myself now.
What's your name?
Yesterday.
Okay, thank you. I'm Juliet. 077. So if you could share it, then I'll share it in the group and I'll add you.
I'm just trying to this way. I'll get rid of
Let me help you.
Okay. Because I've already put your name exactly.
Do Instagram, do Facebook, TikTok, wherever it is, let's get it. We want to do that. You understand?
How are you? Yes.
Thank you so much.
That's fine. I can see Vicky.
Thank you so much, Vicky.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin's wife.
Oh wow, Vicky, somebody recognizes you. Thank you so much. Oh bless you. Thank you so much. It's been absolutely amazing. It's amazing to meet everybody here, and I'm absolutely delighted. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming here today. I'm very, very happy to be here today, and it's absolutely amazing. Hello, my dear. I know you didn't want to be on the video, so because I'm recording. 1 minute. Hello, sorry about that. Here, let me just record that again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that was Peter Obi for president, and it's absolutely amazing here today. Thank you so much for the work that is going on behind here today. Don't you love it? He is one of the founders of these programs, and it's called UK. It's called UK Nigeria Ireland and Europe chapter. That's what it's being called. Please don't mix it up with any other group. That is the group, and this is one of the founders. I tell you what is absolutely great here today. We're absolutely excited, and if you were not here, the next program, keep an eye. I tell you what, they are all loving it here. As you can see, Peter Obi for president in 2023, Labour Party. That is the party that UK, Nigeria, and Ireland and Europe chapter has decided to support. They have made their choices. They have made the choices of Peter Obi for president in 2023, Labour Party for unity and security, uniting the country for a better future. That is it. And you know what? It's all done, prepared. I love it all. I love it all. I love it all. And wow, look at this here today. We're absolutely excited. Who can tell? Look at that. We're absolutely amazed. Look at that. You know, if you haven't been seeing this, you know you have missed something here today. And the wonderful lady, if you don't have a backbone team, the beautiful lady who has produced all this is the one and only. Look at this beautiful special lady. She's right here. Yes, she is right here. She's absolutely right here. We're absolutely blessed. How was it like being in this room here today?
We're thrilled, we're excited.
We're thrilled and we're excited.
You know,
yeah.
Journey of 1,000 miles, that's just a step.
Ah, that's it. Just stop there. Stop.
So
Just,
we're excited.
We're excited. Just that's it. We're right there. See you later, everybody. Love you all. Love you all. Peter Obi campaigns with the UK, Nigeria, Ireland, and Europe chapter. That's what you call it, isn't it? Yeah. See you later. Bye.
All the same cause.
Thank you. Good day. Good night. It's a good night from us here, right down from Hilton Hotel in London here today. If you turned up here, can we say thank you so much to every single person that turned up here today? We're absolutely amazed and we're really, really excited. Thank you to your turning up. If you were not here to make and bring that transformation that is much needed across Nigeria, as you all know, across Africa that you know, a new dawn, a new beginning, a new era. We love you all. Thank you so much to Chief Roland. Thank you so much to every single person. And of course, Reverend Iroy Agui, thank you so much for the invite here as well. We want to appreciate you and your family. And to the people of Nigeria, don't forget to elect a good leader. We want your company. We want those changes. We love you all. See you later. Bye. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.